Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Racha, Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Harawan Ban Yasharallah of the Lion's Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutations to the sincere Aki and pushing this truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Harab Ban Yasharallah, coming out of the Lion's Den Camp of Yasharallah here in Jacksonville, Florida. And now today, I'll be coming on a lesson. The title of this lesson is you cannot be defended if you lose patience. You can't expect the Lord to protect you and to save you from the said perils and to keep you from the said perils and to keep the pestilences and on all these manner of different things that are foretold to come if you lose patience, i.e. you lose your confidence or your faith. You take your hands off the plow. In the time of calamity, the Lord can't defend you because you didn't stick with him, you didn't stay with him. So again, you cannot be defended if you lose patience. So without further ado, let's get right into it. This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. It says, My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, prepare thy soul for temptation. So when you come to serve the Lord, when you turn to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, you must prepare your soul for temptation. You must prepare your soul, prepare yourself for what? To be tested by Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. You have to know that he's going to test you when he sees fit to test you. That's why it says prepare your soul, prepare your heart, prepare yourself, make yourself ready. Verse 2, it says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. So set your heart aright, meaning focus your mind on Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. That's what it means by setting your heart aright. Constantly endure, meaning you got to keep going. When the Lord tests you and things happen, you got to keep going. True enough, it make you. The truth is, yeah, you may get a little, I would say a little bit wearied. You know what I'm saying? But pray to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai for you to keep going. That's why it says constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. And when things do get hectic, or the Lord puts you in a trying time or situation, don't make haste. Don't be so quick to rush to do something that could cause your detriment, or just could cause you to move the wrong way, or could cause you to move outside of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai's will. Verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So you must cleave unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and don't depart away from him. So that you could be increased at your last end, so that you could be found or accounted worthy to escape the said perils, to escape the said judgment that is coming, to be able to be worthy to stand before the Son of Man, which is Yahweh Shai. And that you will be increased at your last end, meaning standing before Yahweh Shai, receiving your crown, getting a new body, having the laws put in your inward parts. Verse 4, it says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. So whatever is brought upon you, take cheerfully. Don't complain or be for lack of a better term, talking trash, complaining. But whatever's happened, just know, and you take it cheerfully. Just know that okay, it must be Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai testing me, to purge out something that's in me that may not be favorable in His eyes. And you be patient when the Lord changes you to a lower state. He puts you in a situation where you kind of down. The Lord just said, be patient, because eventually He just testing you. Eventually, the Lord gonna lift you back up and put you on a level higher than the level you was on, and make you better, and you will be better. Verse 5, it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So gold is tried in the fire. You must put gold in fire in order to purify it. The same thing happens with what acceptable men. They're put in the furnace of adversity. We down here in these flesh. We in this flesh, these chains of darkness. We're going through different trials and tribulations here and there. Esau want to act stupid on your job. Your lady want to act up. Your kids may even want to act the fool here and there. Anything, car acting up. You're behind on a bill. Anything. Those are all tests of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. So that's the furnace of adversity to work patience within us, to work discipline, to work stoicism, to work out, so we won't be so, to work out things so that you won't be so quick to get angry or flip off or fall off at anything. Those are just, minute tests that the Lord puts us through, which is actually the furnace of adversity to purify us, to make us better. Verse 6, it says, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. So you believe in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai and he'll help you. Order your way aright, meaning line up with Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. And trust in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai and he'll help you. Verse 7, ye that fear the Lord Yahweh, wait for his mercy and go not aside lest ye fall. So us that fear the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, we got to wait for his mercy. We got to be patient. And go not aside, meaning don't turn away from Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Don't turn away from the light. Don't go back into the darkness of the world because there's nothing there. And it says, don't go aside, lest ye fall. And if you go aside, i.e. lose patience, and you fall, you cannot be defended by Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai because you lost patience in him. You gave up. You took your hands off the plow. Continue. I'm going to jump down to verse 12. It says, woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands and the sinner that goeth two ways. So woe be to the fearful hearts. Woe be to those who become afraid and are scared when the Lord tests or the Lord allows a situation to happen in your life. And faint hands, when you get tired of it, you let go of the plow. You stop doing the work of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. And it says also the sinner that goes two ways, somebody that's a transgressor, i.e. a sinner, they go two ways. They're not stable. So it says, woe to them, which means judgment, ultimately destruction. Verse 13, it says, woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore he shall not be defended. So woe to him that is faint-hearted, and that does not believe on Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Because when the time come and this thing and all these prophecies and these troubles really ramp up, that man will not be defended. That woman or child that lost faith in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai will not be defended of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. So you cannot be defended if you lose patience in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Verse 14, woe unto you that have lost patience, that have lost faith. And what will ye do when the Lord Yahweh shall visit you? So woe be unto those who lose patience. They lose their faith. They lose their confidence in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. In the times to come, what are you going to do when the Lord shall visit? When it's come time for this destruction and these things to come to pass, what are you going to do and how are you going to be defended? What shall you do in the eyes of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai? So you can't be defended if you lose patience, if you lose faith, if you lose your confidence. Let's go to Luke chapter 9. Verse 62. And it says, and Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hands to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, or it's not fit for the kingdom of God. So if you put your hands on the plow and you look back, once you look back into the world, worrying about what you had, and you look back, guess what? The Lord says you're not fit for the kingdom. You're going to you take your hands off the plow, you're not fit for the kingdom. You're also not worthy to be defended of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, because you look back and you took your hands off the plow, i.e. you lost patience. You lost your confidence. You cannot be defended if you lose that. If you lose your patience and your confidence, you cannot be defended. You will not be defended in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. The Lord has care for his elect, and he's going to defend the remnant of Israel. Psalms 121. Verse 1. It says, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help, meaning look up to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Trust in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Trust in righteousness. Trust in the truth. Trust in the wisdom of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Because that's where our help comes from. It comes from the Father, which is Yahweh. Verse 2. My help coming from the Lord Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. So our help comes from who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. So the Lord will not suffer your foot to be removed. He will not suffer you or allow you to be taken out of this truth. Because why? Long as you stand doing what you're supposed to do. And it says, he that keepeth thee, which is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, will not slumber. I mean, the Lord going to always have a constant watch over you to protect you. Verse 4. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. So the Lord is always watching over the children of Israel. And he's definitely watching over those who worship him and who go according to how he says to go to the best of their ability. The Lord doesn't slumber nor sleep. He's always watching. And he's the what? The keeper of Israel. The so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, and the speckled bird. Meaning the Israelites that look like the other nations, that are scattered among the other nations. Verse 5. The Lord Yahweh is thy keeper. The Lord Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. So the Lord is our keeper. He is our shade. The Lord is our protection. The Lord is our defender. He will keep us. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, even forevermore. So the Lord will preserve us. He preserves you from evil. But if you lose patience, you cannot be preserved from that evil. It says here that the Lord is a protector, a watcher of Israel. It says the Lord is going to preserve us from evil, and he's going to preserve our souls, meaning the Lord is going to keep us as long as you don't lose patience. The Lord is going to what? He preserves you what? Going out and you're coming in. From this time forth and forevermore, meaning the Lord is going to always protect his children, protect his people. But if you lose patience and you lose confidence, how then can you be defended and or protected or preserved? How then can you abide under the shadow of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua? If you lose patience, you won't be defended. You won't be preserved and you won't be protected if you lose patience. Should you lose patience? Wisdom of Solomon. Chapter 3, verse 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. So when you put your trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you will understand the truth. The Lord will wake you up. He'll quicken you. You will have the light. You'll know what's real and what's not. And you'll know what the truth is. It says, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him, for grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect. So those that put their trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall understand the truth of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And such as be faithful in love to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will abide with him. And grace and mercy is what? To his saints, to his people, and he hath care for his elect. The Lord is going to protect his people, and he's going to protect the elect as well. When Esau come rushing in like a flood, that's when the Lord is going to lift that standard up. He's going to give brothers the abilities, spiritual power to defend themselves and or their families and or other brothers that are with them and their families. And if that brother may not receive spiritual power, the Lord is going to give the angels charge over that brother, meaning the angels and the chariots are going to protect that brother. You know, just real quick, I had a dream a while back. It's been some time ago where it was all hell breaking loose. And something happened where Esau and his forces, they was trying to get me. And out of nowhere, the chariots just appeared out of nowhere, and it's like a force field just came down around me, and they could not catch me. They could not get close to me. They could not harm me. They were shooting and everything, and they just could not harm me. And in the dream, I was running, but you know how Jake is. When Jake be running from you and you can't catch him, he started laughing. It was like that. I started laughing because they couldn't catch me, but chariots came out and they just appeared. And any harm that they was trying to bring unto me, it did not touch me, and they just could not catch up with me. They was chasing me, but they just could not catch up. So the Lord is going to protect his elect. He's going to protect his people. I brought that point out just to further push the point of the Lord is going to protect his people. But you cannot be defended if you lose patience. If you lose faith, if you lose confidence in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, you won't be protected. Because the Lord doth have care for his elect, and grace and mercy is unto his saints, which his saints are the people of Israel. Again, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And the speckled bird that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that are of Israel, but they are scattered among the other nations. And thus forth they look like the other nations, but they are of Israel. Last point. Back to Psalms. '91. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty, which is the secret place of the Most High, the Scriptures. His word, his wisdom, his knowledge, his understanding. If you dwell there, guess what? You're going to abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I mean, you're going to be protected. The Lord is going to preserve you, keep you. Verse 2. It says, I will say of the Lord Yahweh, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power, my God. In him will I trust. So when you're abiding under the shadow of the Most High in the secret place, you're going to call Yahweh your God. You're going to call him your Lord. You're going to call him your refuge, your protection. And in him you're going to put your trust in. Verse 3, it says, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Surely the Lord is going to deliver you from the snare of the fowler. Who's the fowler? Esau, with his little stupid little whack traps. You know, and the noisome pestilence. That's ultimately the destruction. But that's also the scourges for amendment leading up to the ultimate destruction. The Lord is going to protect you. He's going to keep you from Esau and his tomfoolery. And from the noisome pestilence, which is ultimately the complete and utter annihilation and destruction of Babylon, America. But the Lord will protect you. But if you lose patience, you cannot get any of these benefits. You cannot get the protection of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua if you lose patience. Verse 4, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings thou shalt trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. And under his feathers, it's talking about the angels and the chariots. And his wings, it's talking about the chariots. His protection of Yahweh, his protection. And guess what? You're going to trust in the protection of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. You're going to trust in the chariots when the Lord send those to protect you in the times to come. And also you're going to trust when it comes times for how the saying goes on what? Star Trek, beam me up, Scotty. You're going to trust that you won't fall when it come time, how they say, Kwam Yasharal, or come up hither. Hear, or rise, O Israel, come up hither. You're going to trust in the wings. You're going to trust in the chariots of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. And the truth of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, what is thy shield and buckler? This is what we use to defend against the wiles of the devil. This is what we use to defend against scoffers and mockers. This is what we use to defend against what? Demons and wicked evil thoughts. The word of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua is the shield and the buckler, his truth. That's the protection. But if you lose patience, the Lord can't be a shield and a buckler unto you. He can't be a strong tower. Because why? You have lost patience. So if you lose patience, you cannot be protected of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. You cannot be defended. Last point. It says, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. So, oh snap, Slacky. I skipped the verse. Verse 5. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. So you're not going to be afraid of the things that Esau is going to bring out. Or trying, well, he's going to bring them out, but he's trying to bring them out too. You're not going to be afraid of these things. The terror by night, you're not going to be afraid. Nor the arrow that flieth by day, the ICBM, the Intercontinental Ballistic Missiles. You know, nor are you going to fear the pestilences that walk in darkness, nor for the destruction that walketh at noonday. So you're not going to be afraid of anything as long as you trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Now, of course, this is not omitting and or overlooking the fact that we're in this flesh, and we're going to see some fearful things. It may jolt you a little bit, you know, and true enough, it may scare you, but you're not going to be afraid as these people are afraid, wondering what they're going to do. You're going to trust fully in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. But if you lose patience, you're going to be afraid of the terror by night. You're going to be afraid of the arrow that flieth by day. You're going to be afraid of the pestilence that walk in darkness and the destruction that walketh at noonday. You're going to be afraid of those things. So if you lose patience, these things to come, you're going to be afraid. But if you keep your confidence, you keep your patience, you keep your faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you will be afraid of none of these things. You won't make haste in the time of trouble. But you cannot be defended if you lose patience. Shalom.